G'day everyone, how's it going? My name's Big Pup, and today we're doing some battles using a level 50 Walrein. I had a lot of fun using this team. If you have the dust, invest in one for fun. Please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel, and without further delay, let's take a look at these battles. Jumping straight into the first match, we are shiny Walrein into a Togekiss. We really like this matchup, we do win it, according to PvPoke, and obviously our Ice type is doing super effective against their Flying type. In comes the first Icicle Sphere. We can also spam these out at a rate of knots. In comes the first one, we will outpace, we'll get to 2 Icicle Spheres before they get to 1 Ancient Power. In comes Icicle Sphere number 2, that'll be doing big damage, we grab a shield which is really nice, and now we're in a position where we can shield up here, and we're able to farm all the way down, coming out with boatloads of energy. In comes the Flamethrower, we shield that, they make a quick switch into a Venusaur, which is really nice to see something different in this cup. In comes the Icicle Sphere though, does over half damage, down we go, now we feel pretty safe to come in with Garchomp and just farm all the way down. Our Dragon Tails are doing massive chunks of damage. We're loaded with energy. In comes Togekiss. We have the perfect answer. Metagross polishes off Togekiss, and they have a Goldingo. So obviously this is a terrible matchup for Metagross. Their Hexes and Shadow Balls will do huge damage, but we are able to bait with a Meteor Mash, get a shield. I think the wise choice here is just to let the Metagross go down. Metagross goes down. We come with Garchomp, one more Dragon Tail, and we have the Earth Power loaded. This will be doing massive damage, most likely KOing. In comes KO's, good game. Moving into the next match, we have our shiny Walrein into a Dragonite. This is perfect. This is, piece de resistance. Our Powdered Snows are doing 4 times effective damage because of their flying and dragon typing, so they're forced to switch out into a Mamoswine. We make a quick switch into our Metagross, which isn't the best or the worst matchup. Our Bullet Punches are doing massive damage. We do need to commit shields here, and unfortunately we get baited with an Avalanche, but they are hugely threatened by all of our charge moves, and we should be able to double shield and farm all the way down. We are fearing that high horsepower because that'll do such big damage. Yep, in comes the high horsepower. Now we feel comfortable to farm all the way down. We are at a shield disadvantage. We have heaps of energy. We're just going to full send the Earthquake onto this Metagross, hopefully sneak past the shield. Unfortunately doesn't, but we have some good answers in the back. Walrein obviously isn't the best answer to Metagross. We do lose this matchup, but hopefully we can hang on through one Meteor Mash and get to an Earthquake. We get to an Earthquake, we hang on. That's that level 50 bulk. In comes the Earthquake. Does big damage, and now we should be in a good position to hopefully, we get one more Ice Clear off. That's really good. A bit of chip damage, and then we're going to be able to come in with Garchomp and Dragon Tail down. Yep, they make a quick switch into Dragonite. Our Dragon Tails are doing massive damage. We managed to get to the Sand Tomb. This will be debuffing the defense by 1 stage, doing not very much damage, but we want the debuff, and we make a quick switch into our Metagross. Our Bullet Punches are doing even more damage now. They're only neutral damage. In comes the Superpower, so they're very debuffed by 3 stages, I believe, right now. We don't even need to hit the bubbles here. Should be KOing the Dragonite. In comes their Metagross. Hopefully we can farm down. Not quite, but they are forced to throw their energy, fearing our Earthquake or Meteor Mash. Now, Garchomp comes in. 1 Dragon Tail. Good game. Skipping along into the next match, we have our shiny Walrein up against the Gyarados. This isn't the best matchup for Walrein. Obviously, we can't do any sort of super effective damage. All we can do is neutral or resisted. And their Dragon Reps are digging in. We're going to throw up a shield and just tough out this matchup because we don't really feel safe switching into either of our Pokemon. We're just going to tough it out, maybe get some shields, get it low enough for Garchomp to farm down, and that should put us in a good position. In comes Icicle Sphere number 2. I love how spammy it is. Walrein Community Day was one of my favorite community days, such good memories. Anyway, back to the content. They're going to throw the Crunch, that does huge damage. We are able to get to another Icicle Sphere, which is doing some nice neutral damage to Gyarados because of its flying typing. We get a shield though, so we're at an even shield scenario. We feel very comfortable to come with Garchomp, start Dragon Tailing down. Garchomp has brilliant bulk, we don't really fear the Aqua Tail or the Crunch, just does a nice little chunk of damage. One more Dragon Tail, and now we have some energy. They come in with Togekiss, however, which is really unfortunate, so we switch into Metagross and we're met with a Garchomp. And unfortunately, it's a Mudshot Garchomp, which is, that's horrible news. It's a red alert. Yep, in comes the Earth Power, so we shield that correctly. We're almost at 2 Meteor Mashes, so I'm really hoping to get off these 2 and knock out this Garchomp. We get the shield. 1, 2, we get to another Meteor Mash, but unfortunately, I think we lose CMP there. This should be the Earth Power. Yep, that takes out our Metagross, unfortunately, and we back out. Good game. Hopping into the next one, we have our shiny Walrein into a Garchomp. This is also a piece of resistance. Our Ice type moves are doing 4 times effective damage, and they switch into a Rhyperior. That's a very rare pick to see in this meta. I wish I had a good Rhyperior. I would use that thing. It's so nice. I love Sinnoh, obviously. I played my brother's Leaf Green and Emerald games as a child, but my first game that I actually owned myself was Pokemon Pearl. So yeah, very, very reminiscent Pokemon for me. Anyway, they come in with Garchomp, we Bullet Punch down, and now we have some loaded energy. Hopefully we get a shield. We don't get a shield, but that does big damage. We get to a second Meteor Mash. So a bit of redemption for last match. We get it off. That gets a shield. Now we're in an even shield scenario. They're farming up a ton of energy. We're only anticipating the Sand Tomb, but we do fear the Earth Power. We're just going to shield that up, come in with Walrein, and farm down. It's good to have Metagross alive in the back because of the Togekiss. So now we're going to Icicle Fear. This should be getting a shield. Gets a shield. And now our Powder Snows are doing a good amount of damage. We get to another Icicle Sphere. That's huge. This will be doing big damage onto that Togekiss. In it comes. Does a nice chunk of damage. Now they're almost in the red. One more Bullet Punch and they'll be in the red. But we come in with Garchomp. Anyway, we're going to try and get to a Sand Tomb, I assume, then Bullet Punch down and get energy. This will just be a Dazzling Gleam. Takes us out. Ooh, bit of a spicy move right there with the Dazzling Gleam. We're able to Bullet Punch all the way down. Good game. Moseying on into the next match, we have Shiny Walrein into an Excadrill. So this is a good matchup for us, depending on how they shield. We are able to just build up to an Earthquake and then bait with the Icicle Sphere, and I'm going to assume they're going to shield. In comes the Rock Slide that does just over half, such massive damage. Unfortunately, Walrein doesn't have the highest stat product, but it has such a good moveset that it is viable. Anyway, we get the shield because we built up to the Earthquake. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to build up to the Earthquake and hopefully get another shield. We shield the Rock Slide this time, move it up all the way to the Earthquake. We're going to throw another Icicle Sphere. Hopefully this will be getting a shield. Doesn't get a shield, but does a nice chunk of damage to that little Steel Ground Mole. In comes a third Icicle Sphere. We're just too spammy. 1, 1, 2, let's go. In comes a Gyarados. We make a quick switch into Garchomp, and now our Dragon Tails are doing a nice amount of damage. It is unfortunate they're running Dragon Breath and not Waterfall, but we can manage. In comes the Aqua Tail. That is a nice amount of damage. We're going to go straight for the Sand Tomb. Neither of our charge moves will do much damage, but we can debuff them, and that Dragon Tail will just be vamping up. 1, 2, 3. We sneak that through. I believe we let this go down. In comes the Aqua Tail though. We hang on, so that means our Dragon Tail did register. Now we're able to come with Metagross, farm all the way down. We should shield here, fearing the big crunch from Gyarados. In comes the crunch. We don't get a debuff, which is really good. We Bullet Punch all the way down, and in comes the Excadrill. Obviously, we're fearing the Drill Run here. That should KO us. Almost KO us. We hang on. In comes the Meteor Mash. This will be taking out the Excadrill. Oh, they switched into Dragonite, so they got me there. We're going to farm up all the way to the next one. We come in, we get there, we don't. Good game. Keeping things moving here with the Shiny Walrein into a Gyarados. So as I said earlier, this isn't the best matchup, and unfortunately they're running Dragon Breath. It would be much better if they're running Waterfall, because that's very resisted because of Walrein's typing. But we troop on, we throw the Icicles here, we chunk, and now we're going to shield up the Crunch. Yep, we're assuming the Crunch is going to come in. That would have done big damage. We're going to farm up to another Icicle Sphere. This will be either getting a shield or doing a nice chunk to that Gyarados, hoping to get a shield. Successfully get a shield. Now we're going to keep farming. We're not going to shield here because we're suspecting they're going to bait with the Aqua Tail. It's just the Aqua Tail, we're able to hang on, and now we'll get to another Icicle Sphere. This is great for us. Let's put Garchomp nice and low, or get a shield. We get a shield, and now can we get to another one? Unfortunately not. Maybe they're running Waterfall. Anyway, we come in with Garchomp, we're Dragon Tailing down. This Crunch isn't going to do too much damage. Garchomp just has such good bulk. Unfortunately, we get debuffed. They switch into Dragonite, hoping to Dragon Breath down our debuffed Garchomp, but we have the perfect answer in Metagross. Well, not quite the perfect answer. Togekiss would be perfect, but Metagross is not too shabby. That takes out the Dragonite. In comes Exca. I believe we're just going to let this go because we almost have a Earth Power loaded. So we might as well just come with Garchomp, Dragon Tail up to the Earth Power, and then take out that Excadrill. Yep, we're going to throw up the shield. This will be making us survive. In comes the Drill Run. Now we get to the Earth Power. This will be doing absolutely devastating damage to that Excadrill. Sending it to the Shadow Realm. Good game. Oh no, Gyarados is in the back. We Dragon Tail down. Good game. Moving along here, we have Shiny Walrein into a Florges. So I believe this is a bit of a neutral matchup. We're only doing neutral damage to each other. Florges is quite spammy, but so is Walrein, so we'll see what happens. In comes the Icicle Sphere number 1. Does a nice little chunk of damage. They're going to throw the, hopefully it's the Disarming Voice, not the Moonblast. Luckily it's the Disarming Voice. We're going to Powder Snow away, we're going to overfarm up to the Earthquake, and hopefully bait again. We'll throw up a shield here, fearing the Moonblast. We correctly shield the Moonblast. Now we're at 2 Icicle Spheres. We throw the first Icicle Sphere, hopefully this gets a shield. No shield, but now they're in the low red, and this is really good because this eliminates the Fairy from Garchomp. Fingers crossed it's not a double Fairy squad. In comes the Moonblast, that takes us out. In comes Metagross, we Bullet Punch down. They come in with Gyarados. We switch into Garchomp, fearing there's not another Fairy in the back, and it doesn't appear to be a Fairy in the back. They're staying into this matchup. They're going to throw the Aqua Tail. That does a nice little tickle to Garchomp. We get to the Sand Tomb. This will be vamping up our Dragon Tail's damage because they're weaker. It actually gets a shield, which is massive. Now we get to another Sand Tomb. They'll be 2 times debuffed. Our Dragon Tails are doing absolutely huge damage. That almost takes them out. We're not fearing the charge move. It is the crunch, but we do hang on. One more Dragon Tail, and they go down. They come with their own Garchomp. It's a Mud Shot Garchomp, so luckily we were able to get off about 2 Dragon Tails. Now we just need to take out this Garchomp. We're going to shield the here up. It's probably just the Sand Tomb. It's the Earth Power, so we correctly shield. That's huge. Now we just need to farm up to 2 Meteor Mashes. In comes Meteor Mash number 1. This will be grabbing the shield. Grabs the shield. Can we get to the next one? Come on. We don't quite get there. We're praying it's the Sand Tomb. It is the Earth Power. Good game. Hopping into the next match, we have Shiny Walrein into a fellow Walrein. So this is the first time I've ever seen a Walrein in GBL. In the Master Premier Cup, I should say. So it's very nice to see a fellow Walrein. Makes my Walrein feel a little bit more at home. In comes the Earthquake. That does a nice chunk of damage. We're expecting the Earthquake back. I'm assuming that'll do the most damage. Yep, we're not going to shield up. Because if whatever happens in this matchup, I'm just hoping to grab shields or get it nice and low. And we will be able to come in with metagross and do some big damage. In comes the Earthquake. That'll be doing a nice... Oh, we get the shield, which is really good. We're not going to shield here, hoping it's an Ice Sphere bait. It's not. It's the Earthquake. That gets us nice and low. Can we get to another charge move? Not quite. It doesn't matter. We've left a nice amount of health on Walrein for metagross to come in and farm down. Yep, so we should be able to get boatloads of energy here. We're already shield advantage. So we're going to farm up all the way to the Earthquake. We're going to shield the Run here. We just do too much damage. In comes the Run. We shield that. Now we come with Garchomp and we start Dragon Tailing away and get to a few Sand Tombs. We don't really need to fear the Runs. Obviously we can't take too many, and they bait with the Rock Slide. So that is absolutely fantastic. I don't know why you'd bait, because they take the same amount of energy, I believe. But it doesn't matter. The Sand Tomb does huge damage. We Dragon Tail down. Now we're expecting the Walrein to come back in. No, just the Dragonite. So we're going to Sand Tomb, start vamping up this Dragon Tail. They'll be doing massive damage. Gets a shield again, which is really brilliant. We're Dragon Tailing away. We're just going to let this go. Now we feel very comfortable to come with metagross and just farm all the way down and have huge amounts of energy. We're at 2 Meteor Mashes. That's our win con, I believe. Because 1 Meteor Mash will be taking out that thing, and then next will be taking out the Walrein. In comes Meteor Mash number 2. This should be securing us the win. In comes Meteor Mash. Good game. Popping into the next one, we have Walrein into an Excadrill. So we don't really mind this matchup. My go-to plan here was to build up to the Earthquake and then bait with an Ice Sphere. They do get to the Rock Slide or the Run. I'm assuming a Rock Slide very quickly. So we're going to shield that up, build up all the way to the Earthquake, and threaten. In comes the Icicle Sphere. Hopefully this grabs a shield. Grabs the shield, which is really good. Now we're going to keep farming. We get 2 more Powdered Snows in. We're going to shield up here, fearing the Rock Slide. That would have done massive damage. We're almost at 2 Icicle Spheres, and this time we're going to full send the Earthquake. I was finding they weren't shielding, so hopefully this gets a shield, which isn't too bad. Our back 2 Pokemon don't have the best matchup against Excadrill. Obviously Garchomp can handle it, but it does need shields because the Runs are very they're very powerful. They do a lot of damage. In comes the Icicle Sphere though. They're really low. They're forced to throw their energy, fearing we'll get to another Icicle Sphere. In comes the Rock Slide. That takes us down. In comes Metagross. We're going to farm. Hopefully catch a Rock Slide. We don't catch a Rock Slide, but it doesn't matter. 1 more Dragon Tail and the Mollis into the Shadow Realm. We're met with the Dragonite, so we're going to farm up, get the Sand Tomb off. We don't quite get the Sand Tomb off, which is really unfortunate. Luckily we have Metagross in the back. We're able to hang on, throw the Sand Tomb. This will be debuffing them, and hopefully Metagross can come in and do the job. 1, 2... We get 2 more Dragon Tails off, which is really good. And can we Bullet Punch down? They have a Gyarados. That's game over. Good game to this trainer. Hopping into the last match of these sets, we are met with the Togekiss. So that's really good. Lucky last, I should say. So we went over the Florges, so we make a quick switch into Metagross. Double Fairy strat can be very strong in this meta because of all the dragons running around. But because we have Metagross, we're looking pretty good. We're going to farm. Almost up to 2 Meteor Mashes. We really aren't farming anything Florges has. The Moonblast, the Disarming Voice, nothing's doing much damage to Metagross. It can just take it like rain off a camel's back. I don't know the saying. Anyway, we're going to throw the Earthquake against what just came in. It's the Excadrill. We grab the shield, which is really big. We're going to farm up to another Earthquake. Double Earthquake. Let's go. Metagross is a natural disaster machine. In comes Earthquake. That takes out the Excadrill. Not expecting the double Earthquake. Good game.
Thank you all so much for watching. I had a blast with this team. Walrein is truly a dragon slayer. If you have the dust, invest in one for fun. And until next time, have a good one.